I actually, when I was in the military, I actually joined the Navy in 1982. I mean, it was a long time ago. And I was on active duty for about 6 years. I was stationed across seas all of my time. I was stationed at Subic Naval Base, at Misawa Air Base in Japan, and also Clark Air Base in the Philippines as well. Now, um, interestingly enough, my first day at Subic Bay, when I walked out of the gates and I looked around and I saw all the beautiful women and I saw all the bars, I decided to make a conscious decision not to believe in God, because I did not want to have I didn't want to be accountable to anyone but myself. I wanted to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it with whoever I wanted to do it with. Now, uh, and I imagine, and God was saying, thy will be done. So God turned me over to the desires of my flesh. But when I was in the Navy also, and I was an atheist, there were also times that I struggled with my atheism. And that would be when I would go out to sea and I would look up at the stars at night, look at the ocean, and I knew that no man created that. But because I had committed to being an atheist, I would reinforce it every time I got back to shore. Now, unfortunately, this is one of the things that SES can really help you with. Unfortunately, as an atheist, I challenged Christians, and not one Christian ever gave me any evidence for Christianity. I would call them fairy tales. I would say God doesn't exist. I would just, anything you could think of. I just hated God. I hated Christianity. Well, I didn't believe in God, but I hated him anyway, and especially Christianity. And no one ever challenged me to show me any evidence for Christianity. None of that time. Now, I don't know if I would have converted, but I would at least have been held accountable. And out of that whole time, it was a downward spiral for me. I became, my new gods. I didn't want to follow the God of the Bible, but my new God became alcohol and sex. And those are and I worshiped at those altars. And it wasn't until I became a believer, when I got out of the military, that once I became a believer, it was an emotional experience. But because at the time now, I had gotten out the military, I went back to college, got a degree in computer science, started working at NASA as a software engineer. So I came as an emotional experience, but I had to see if it was true or not. So I actually started doing research. And the research that Christianity was true is what kept me in the faith. Now, I didn't come to Christianity because of the evidence, but I stayed with Christianity because of the evidence. And that evidence, matter of fact, I was so upset and angry when I found out the evidence that no one ever shared it with me, is that I decided to dedicate my life to sharing that evidence with others. So I actually quit my job as a software engineer, sold my house, and moved to Charlotte, North Carolina to study apologetics. And I've been studying apologetics, and I've been sharing that apologetics knowledge ever since. So I would encourage any veteran, anyone in general, but veterans in particular, because I know that there are struggles that they deal with when they're away from home, when they're in other ports, when they are away from, the people who may hold them accountable. There may be some things that they may struggle with. And these are the type of things, knowing who God is, understanding who God is, can give you the foundation to be able to fight through those temptations. There are so many places compromising now. We need some places that will not compromise. We need some places that people could go and say, well, I know that they're not compromising the gospel. I know they're not compromising what they teach. So that's why I'm going to go there. I really believe in Giving Tuesday. I've already given myself personally, probably going to give again. So I encourage anyone else to give, because I can't think of a better cause.